We're here at Gamescom with one of the most impressively named titles I have ever heard, League of Legends. Have you guys lived up to that? Because that's a hell of a statement. That's quite ballsy.
Well, we actually, when we were trying to choose the name of the game a long time ago, we thought that we basically subscribe to a theory that the more fun your acronym is, the more successful your game is. And so we chose League of Legends. Actually, it's not true, but yeah, we've been really happy with the success that we've seen with League of Legends since we launched almost 2 years ago now. We've got 15 million players, and we're really excited about all the stuff we're showing today and what we're going to be doing in the future.
Like you said, it's been ongoing for a while, but you're not resting on your laurels. We're at Gamescom to see something new. Can you sort of talk us through what we're seeing?
Absolutely. So we're here we're showing today at Gamescom League of Legends Dominion, which while our players have been asking for a new map for a little bit, we actually decided that we not only wanted to do a new map, but we actually wanted to do an entirely new gameplay mode. And so League of Legends Dominion is actually a new map, but features capture and hold based gameplay rules. So kind of everybody knows what capture and hold is if you've played games before. Most people know what that is. And so it makes it a little easier to understand conceptually at a high level. But what we've done is we've actually kind of League of Legends-ified capture and hold. And so what that means is it has all of players' favorite champions, all of the item depth, and all the kind of the tactical and strategic combinations and endless strategies that players can develop. And we're really excited about kind of the new experience that we've created in the MOBA genre. And so we didn't want to just make a new map. We wanted to push the whole thing forward.
Now, does that mean you're just basically building on what pre-exists before, or are you changing, tinkering things at a sort of deeper level?
Actually, a little bit of both, right? So when players play Dominion, if they've played League of Legends or other MOBAs, they're going to be very familiar with some of the core concepts. So you choose an individual champion that has unique sets of skills. That's all intact. In fact, all the champions are available in League of Legends Dominion. So I mean, who wants to have a favorite champion and then not be able to play it in this cool new mode, right? Like, it's kind of a kick in the face, and we don't want to do that. So all champions are available, and so that kind of stuff is very foundational. We didn't mess with that at all. Why break what isn't fixed? Why fix what isn't broken? That's it. It's a long 3 days, man. But on top of that, we've introduced a lot of new mechanics to be able to really differentiate the experience and also keep it balanced, right? Like, that's a huge concern. I know a lot of players have said, hey, we're going to be able to balance this. So we created some of that new stuff and new tools to be able to balance the whole game, not just one mode versus the other.
What's the sort of, like you said, it's on the show floor, public have been getting hands on and stuff like that. What's the feedback so far? Have you guys actually been out there to find out?
Oh my gosh, it's been overwhelmingly positive. It's been great. I actually walked over there this morning just before started doing press interviews here, and they opened the doors right when I was trying to get to the booth, and there was literally a swarm of people that came at me, and I just ran past, literally people sprinting past me because they were there yesterday and saw it, and so they were trying to run in and get a spot in line. It's been overwhelming, and I can't believe it. It's amazing.
And have you had a chance to check out the competition?
I've actually been in this booth and my booth. I've obviously heard a lot of stuff. I have a lot of respect for our competitors, and I think that the MOBA genre is just beginning, and it's actually, there's enough room for lots of interpretations and everything, and that's what we're really trying to do at Dominion, is create kind of an additional interpretation of this genre that's so far been kind of based around the same thing. And so we want to actually push it a little forward. I look at it as like when first-person shooters started doing deathmatch, and then all the other first-person shooters were doing deathmatch. Then somebody said, hey, you know what? Maybe we should make a more tactical shooter or more, third-person kind of cover-based shooters now. And now we have a whole genre of first-person shooter games that are all wildly different and successful. And so I look at it as we're kind of on the beginning of that with this genre.
With that, I mean, obviously it's been out a couple of years. You've got Dominion coming out, but what's the long-term plan after that? What are you guys looking to do, apart from maybe have some vacation time?
Yeah, well, I'm definitely going to take a vacation in a little bit when we get this thing out, which will be very shortly. But the long term, we have a huge fan base and we love them and they love us, and they'll tell us when they don't love things we do, which we actually really appreciate and try to really respond to. And so going forward, we're going to try to make sure that we're giving them what they want, and kind of continuing to expand the genre. We're going to support League of Legends. We're not going to abandon classic League of Legends. Like, again, 15 million players playing that, can't be wrong. So we don't want to just turn our back on them at all. In fact, we're going to continue to support League of Legends thoroughly for a long time, hopefully. As long as players want to play League of Legends, we're going to support it.
It's just sort of, I always find it interesting. Obviously, fan feedback is a huge part now these days, sort of like post-launch. But how do you balance out? Is it almost like a majority rules aspect where if you hear enough negativity of one particular thing, you think, okay, that is definitely an area we have to focus on? I mean, how you pick between something that perhaps needs to be fixed and something that's more nitpicking on a personal level?
Absolutely. That's a great question. In fact, we really believe in, our whole company is set up to figure out what we're not doing as well as we can be and make it better. Right? We actually believe that there's no such thing as, we're not doing anything perfectly. In fact, we actually believe that very thoroughly. The problem is, as you pointed out, is you can't go make everything perfect at the same time, right? And so we really use fan feedback as kind of a directional area for us to look in, right? If a lot of people are complaining about server stability, obviously that's a very easy thing to validate whether that's true or not, right? And we can go address that, which has been a big focus of ours lately. Also, esports, as you start to get bigger, you have more sects of fans who, want this group wants more of this group wants more of this, and this group wants more of this. And what we've actually been doing is we've actually added a ton of developers. We have about over 100 developers working on League of Legends now, whereas when we launched, we had only about probably 35. And so we've added those developers so we can continue to service all those different groups and directions, right, with Dominion for being kind of a new experience, but at the same time, continuing to enhance esports and our competitive scene, right, and continuing to create awesome content and champions. And the thing we really look for is community feedback is kind of a directional thing, and we look and we try to validate, whether that's the case or not, right? And so we try to make as wise a decision as we can, right? Instead of just being reactionary, right?
Obviously, Dominion, brand new, but and there's obviously players who've been deeply invested in League of Legends the last couple of years. But how do you attract a new audience at this point, an audience that perhaps players that might have thought we're a bit too late to the party?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the MOBA genre in general, like kind of classic gameplay, is pretty complicated, right? It's not the easiest rule set to understand, and it's also pretty unique. So it's kind of a mix of this and a mix of that, all kind of thrown together in this perfect little stew of interesting gameplay. And so one of the approaches that we've taken is kind of creating systems that teach players this in a very friendly way versus before they get into games with real players. So play a game with bots versus bots. We'll tell you when you're doing something wrong. We'll tell you when you're doing something right. And then with Dominion, capture and hold is a more relatable gameplay type, right? Like, people who are gamers have heard of capture and hold. They conceptually understand, so it's easier to grasp that. And then you can teach them the rest of the MOBA specifics, the deep item depth, the champions, and the unique abilities. And with Dominion, we're pretty optimistic that people are going to understand that and be able to get into to Dominion a little bit more effectively. But one of the things that we spent a lot of time on is making sure that we didn't create the noob mode with no depth, right? And so, we wanted to make sure that we had all the depth and variety and strategy, team composition and roles and all the stuff that our players love with Dominion on top of that.
Okay, and wrapping up, is there anything left that we should have talked about?
We're really excited about players getting their hands on Dominion. One of the most commonly heard things around the office is people are ready to stop working on Dominion, not because they're tired of it, but in fact they want players to play it because they just want to talk about it. We've been working on it for a long time now. We're all really excited about it. Somebody asked me earlier what my favorite strategy on Summoner's Rift was, and I was like, I had a hard time answering because I've just been playing Dominion for so long now. But we're really excited about getting out to players and seeing kind of all the strategies. I only have a very few number of days after we release it that I'm going to be any good at it. Because people are going to quickly become way better than me at it. So I'm pretty excited about that.
That must feel a good thing, though, that people are investing that much time in your game that they're even trumping you.
Oh, yeah, I'm actually not very good by any means. But, I'm really excited to see what people do with it and all the interesting and different strategies that come up with.